Hey students, it's Cody Miller, your instructor for English 104. I'm here with a quick video to hopefully walk you through a PDF that I'm asking you to take a look at for the paper structure assignment, and that is the yes and or but okay. It's essentially a video, or it's essentially a PDF that walks us through the idea of how we can agree and disagree, or how we can simply agree, or we can agree and add some reasons to that agreement. It gives us structures that we can look at. So I want to walk you through that document, and of course you'll need to read through it, but I'll share my screen with you. And so the document itself is yes, no, okay, and but. So three ways to respond. So if we take a look at the first way, right, and this is responses to partly counter arguments or to sources that you may find. So every source that we find shouldn't necessarily back us up, right? It shouldn't provide evidence for our case. Sometimes it will actually provide evidence for the counter argument, and that is completely acceptable and should occur in your paper. However, you are going to come across sources that you can agree with, and when you do so, you don't want to just say, I agree, right? You have to be able to add a little bit more to it. You have to be able to move into a different direction or add reasons for it. So for instance, on page 62 of that PDF, it says, templates for agreeing, and then giving more examples to add on to it. And then down here on 64, it gives more examples to say I agree, and a point that we need to add to it, or we need to emphasize, is this. So we could do that, for instance, with the example of, for instance, cell phones, right? So you might say, so you find a source that says cell phones are good for learning in the classroom. So what you might say is, I agree that cell phones are good for learning in the classroom, and a point that needs emphasizing, since so many people, it's a point that still needs emphasizing, since so many people believe that cell phones are bad in the classroom, right? So these are the types of things that we can add on to the conversation that exists. And so I want you to read through those pages. However, you're going to come across those sources that you disagree with, and those are completely fine to disagree as well. And so this walks you through those points as well, along with some templates that you can use. For instance, on page 66, it says, if you have a claim and you want to agree and disagree simultaneously, you point out something that they did right and then something that they did wrong. And then we also have, let's see here, up above, we have the disagreeing with reasons, right? So they're mistaken because of these reasons. So we could do something with the cell phones on like 60, on page 60. You'd say, maybe you found this study. So while you would say, the study about cell phone use in the classrooms is mistaken because it overlooks the ability of students to search things within the classrooms when they don't know things. So that is essentially taking that source down a peg, and offering your reasons for why it is a positive versus, say, a negative, or a negative versus a positive, depending on which way you're arguing. So this really has to do with the way you need to respond to sources. It's not always about agreeing, and it's not always about disagreeing, but instead it's about finding ways that you can agree and add some originality to it, but also disagreeing and providing reasons for that, or picking through it in a reasonable way, so that you're not just attacking, say, the author or attacking the research that's been done. You're being a little bit more clever about it and a little bit more scholarly in the way that you approach it. So hopefully reading this document will help you through that, but will also give you some templates that you can use throughout your body paragraphs to structure things a little bit better. Okay, so please email me if you have any questions, of course, and we can always virtually chat, or I will email you back as fast as I can. Thanks, guys.